here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame. 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 She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Shay.
Hey, what's up?
I failed at playing an intro.
Yeah.
Whatever. I wasn't going to go back and start the whole thing. Luckily, Shay alerted me that I don't hear shit. And I'm like, oh, crap. Either way, it doesn't matter. You guys get the point. But hello, everyone. Happy Members Only Monday. Hi, Lisa. I've missed you guys, too. Hi, Katrina, Gidget, Tess, Kathy, Joe. We have Crime Crochet Coiffé, Carolyn Cooper. We have Bree, Sarah Bellum, proud grandma of 2, Harlot, People Me, Kimmy C. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I missed you guys. Thanks, C. Carter, for 7 months. My heart can't think no more. Please come back to us. I'm trying my best. You know, I don't want to get into everything, but I'm trying my best. I promise. And I'm not planning on disappearing. I've just disappeared temporarily. But I see you guys and I appreciate everyone. And so we're just going to pick up where we left off. And I know that there has been so much that has come out. And there's a lot that's come out with this, Shay. I'm sure.
Right.
And what can you tell me, why did they take down all of the virtual tours? Even the ones that I managed to pull up 2 lives ago, I can't pull up anymore. It just keeps disappearing.
I don't know. I was testing them out too after we got off that live last week together. And I looked everywhere, even went and found old links that I sent myself,
Yes.
And none of them worked. Nothing worked.
What's up with that?
I don't know, but I really, really, really liked the tours.
They were wonderful, and I know I have them stored on my old lives. Actually, I think I may have uploaded a little pre-record short video of it back when it originally first came out. I'll have to check for that, but it's very frustrating.
Yeah, for real.
Hi, Neat Noodle. No, we literally just started. All you missed was me failing to play my intro. That's it. Hi, Samantha. All right. So there's a lot to go over. We're going to start with our missing child, but I'm kind of on the fence with certain things because, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, a lot of the crime scene photos are being released. I do have a very big interest in them, I'll be honest. But I saw the Goncalves family shared a post asking for them not to be shared. And so, of course, I want to respect that. Half of me is like, well, damn, I definitely want to go through to have a better understanding. I'm a visual person. That's just the truth. And I like to go through things to understand and get those answers. But I also don't want to disrespect what they're asking. So I haven't made my decision yet. I'll just be honest. So I'm just going to kind of keep going with these investigative reports, but we could talk about it either way. It is a hard one, Tess, because I totally understand. I do. I understand. But not everyone. I don't like when people, because I've had this topic before where people just automatically assume, oh, you have to be sick if you want to see something like that, or what's wrong. Actually, well, no, that's your opinion. But a lot of us who have a very big interest in true crime and I'm speaking for me, but I know I've spoken to other people who also have a very big interest in true crime, and to really understand, especially with something that was so closed-lipped and tight with this, you have like you're finally getting some answers and seeing it even through crime scene photos. You're getting a much better understanding of the movements and what happened that night versus if you're just sitting there guessing. But it's like I said, it's very hard because I don't want to go against something that the family directly asked, but at the same time, it's not something that can kind of be controlled. The only thing I think you could do is just control how you do it. That's my opinion. And thank you so much, Dogs Offender, for becoming a member. Welcome. So either way, we could talk about it. What are your thoughts, Shay?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of confused by that because I was wondering if they were referring to the actual ones that were shown on the news, that were blurred, or
Right.
if they're thinking it's going to be like much more severe stuff. Because I didn't think that
Maybe.
they would release things like that, like the
You
gory stuff.
might be right because there is, and thank you, Wolfie, 44. Um, we
Hey,
know that there
Wolfie.
are much more that have not been released yet. And so is that kind of an anticipation for what may come out? But unfortunately, it's bound to happen. You can't really control something like that. And
Mhm.
I can't imagine, nor do I think anyone should reach out to them, tag them. Like, it's just wrong. That should be their choice. But unfortunately, you can't control the fact that they are accessible to the public. But then I will be honest, I'm a little bit thrown off to the side only because the family who made the post are the Goncalveses, and they very much were adamant about trial and wanting it to be proven and for Bryan's actions to be seen, and this would have been a very big part of it. And so I'm not sure. Maybe they don't know what to anticipate, and the idea, I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy.
That's where I'm leaning. Is I maybe it's the anticipation, which in respect, I mean, I think that their children's bodies shouldn't be shown. Like that shouldn't be
No,
blurred.
absolutely. Like, but as far as what I've seen so far, and obviously it's horrific, and there you could see blood, but it's yeah, exactly, Harlan. It's MPD walkthrough of it.
Mhm.
And so with that, I still get a much better understanding. Like, I certain the way that the beds are, the way that certain items in the house, the way certain things are disturbed, the way other things aren't disturbed. There are things that you could really learn from the photos that you aren't getting if you're just sitting here guessing.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, let's just do our missing child. Our missing child for tonight's live stream is Ashlyn Tyler. Ashlyn has been missing since May 30th, 2025, out of Billings, Montana. She is 16 years old. It says she was last seen on the 30th of May, and she may be in need of medical attention. So if you or anyone you know has information on Ashlyn's whereabouts, please contact the Billings Police Department at 1406 657 8200.
I love her name.
Ashlyn, yeah, it's spelled pretty also.
I have my fans on, so if you can't hear me well, let me know.
I can't hear your fan. Can you hear my fan?
Always, but that just goes with you.
Because
It's
I don't.
like
Yeah, I don't have ear canceling headphones. I mean, sound canceling headphones. I have 5 and below headphones, but I don't even use headphones, so that's probably the issue. Thank you, Proud Grandma of 2 for 7 months. I love this community so much. We love you. Thank you. And thank you, Linda. Good to see you. You take care of you. I'm trying. And thank you for being understanding. I haven't abandoned you guys intentionally. Okay. I don't think I've ever gone 9 days without streaming. I haven't streamed since 9 days, Shay. That's like
yeah.
an eternity since my start of my channel. I've never done that.
I was gonna say, like, don't freak out. She's okay. Like she's worked for like 3 or 4 years on this channel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just walk away and abandon it, but life happens, things come up, and sometimes you gotta focus elsewhere. But I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I promise.
Well, when life is in a good place, it makes this other place more, enjoyable. for what it's
Yes.
worth, the community and everything.
Yes. And then like aside from that, just like my TMJ guys, like I know you guys were here the last time. It's just it has not been okay since then. And so I can't always talk. Like talking for hours, especially with reading straight investigative reports for hours, can really set me off. And so I have to make the decision, should I go live or should I risk being in horrible pain for the next 2 days? So like it's just all been like it's just not been a thing. Like it's just not been possible recently. Thank you, Little D, for 5 months. Almost my happy anniversary. I love this channel. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't
Um,
even really talked to you in like a week, so I was like,
no,
oh, she's not feeling good.
I've been off the planet basically. But it's not because I don't love everyone and miss everyone. It's just life. Life is life and pretty much at the max right now. Thank you, Carolyn Cooper. All right, well, let me give you your fix. So we had stopped, we did one live without Shay, and we
I
got
listened.
Did you? Oh, you listened. Wonderful. It just wasn't the same. Did you see me going crazy saying, I need Shay? This doesn't make sense.
You're like, yeah, the sorority things, that's shit.
Yeah, that's Shay's territory. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with that.
I heard you reading through the report that I got stuck on when we ended the live, whenever your
so bad.
TMJ kicked
Yeah.
in. But I heard you do like pause because there were so many initials, and like remember I was trying to decipher them, and I was like getting stuck, and you were just like, "Fuck it," you just went with the initials the whole way. You're like, "I'm not doing this."
I'm not. It was too much, and then sometimes there's a lot of repetitive initials, and sometimes you don't get it right. So I'm like, it's not even worth it because I'm going to confuse myself. But that ended up being the longest report because that was the one where my TMD acted up. I'm like, okay, I just got to get through this report, and then I got to tell her I'm going to end it. And it ended up being the longest report. I remember when I was sitting there, I was in tears and I was like, how is this still going? Why did it have to be the longest report? But yeah, it was a big one, but I'm still, Shay, what do you think about this DoorDash driver? Okay, and how Bryan pulled up behind her vehicle and she didn't notice.
Was this when she was out of the car with the dog?
Yeah, she got out of the car with the dog. She was walking around for 15 minutes. The newly released video, we now see her walking around with a flashlight, but he pulled in to the back of her vehicle and then left. It's the weirdest thing.
It is bizarre. I don't know what to think of it, honestly.
It's weird. And for her to say that she saw a brunette in the third-story bathroom window constantly looking out at her and ducking every time she looked, I don't like it. But what's strange also, Shay, is that she didn't come forward. It took them a while to find her, but you're telling me you weren't aware that everyone was out looking for anyone who was near those girls that night, or Ethan, and you didn't come forward willingly with that information. But what that also tells me is over a week lapsed and you are privy to all of the reporting that's going on and all the speculation. So now when you're going in for that interview, I don't know if it's just an organic, natural, this is what happened versus this is now what I think happened, since I've been over analyzing in my head and playing it out, since I'm well aware now over a week later of what happened. You know what I mean?
Right. So my question is that, and I don't think I saw.
Go ahead.
Okay. My question was, and I don't know if I saw it like confirmed in the reports, was did okay, so when they found her, because they did the subpoena, right? Or they did the geofence warrant.
Yes.
So what was the conversation with her of, did you hear about this? So why didn't you reach out to us? That same question. I don't feel like I've gotten that answer in the reports. I've been wondering that this whole time too. Because I initially thought that maybe the DoorDash driver came forward themselves eventually and caught up with like the news because it's, being talked about. But now when I find out it's through the geofence warrant and DoorDash warrants, like, not that that person's suspicious, but like, what's the reason? Do you just not watch the news, or were you
Mm-mm.
scared?
I
Like,
think I think the same reason why she's walking around, and this is just Melissa's speculation. It is not based on fact. It is based on speculation. And I saw the video of right. We went over the video of her being pulled over, and she does appear that she may be struggling. And I think that there's a reason that she may not have wanted to come forward. Not because it had anything to do with the crimes, but maybe some other reason. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Yeah, under the influence type of reason. First of all, if you're taking your dog out for a shit while delivering my food, there's a lot of issues going on here. But the fact that you're walking around for 15 minutes, okay, I guess it could be confusing, but 1122 is very clear. Like it's right there. You could see the numbers on the front of that house. But the fact that she said she saw, so first of all, what third story window? I don't think she saw a brunette in the third story window. I think she saw Xana on the second story window and was constantly moving back and forth between the back of the house and the front of the house. And no way do I think she was ducking. She was probably constantly looking like, why? I see you walking. My phone's alerting me that my DoorDash is here, yet you aren't coming to the actual door.
So I think there's a question of, one, has she ever delivered there before? And two, we got it's not a question, more a statement of, remember, the house is technically on Queen Road, not King Road. And that has always been an issue at hand, because remember, whenever they were FOIAing the body cam, they FOIA'd under Queen Road.
Queen Road. It was previously Queen Road, and then with the extension, it went to King Road. So King Road is the actual address currently.
Right, but technically the road the house is on is Queen.
Yeah, so you're saying that you think that the DoorDash GPS was, that's what she said, is that it was taking her, wanting her to go through the back.
Yes.
Which at one time, yes, you're right. Like at one time when it was the Queen Road, maybe if it didn't update from the extension, that would make sense. I don't know how.
Even the officers, like, body cam footage that we saw from those FOIAs, like, said that they were responding to something on Queen Road.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that it has to do with that, possibly. And like, if she's never delivered there before, it's late at night and it's her last delivery. Yeah, maybe take your dog out because you've been waiting or driving for a little bit, but also maybe if you feel more safe with having your dog with you. I don't blame her for that. That's not the thing. It's more of like you said, of that gap of like what may she have been influenced by in the media. Also, why didn't she really come forward? And then I think there's another thing as well, that there's some stuff that she may not have seen, because I remember when we were reading through those drive-through tests, like, and going through the cameras, like, you could tell the investigators were going back out trying to replicate it. Remember how they drove the silver car underneath, and it gave a tannish tint, and they were trying to match the car colors. So I think there's a lot of the story that's built around the camera footage and the investigators, and trying to piece that in with what she was doing. I don't think she necessarily really saw him as much as the investigators building that timeline out. You know what I mean? Based on all those factors of circumstantial evidence. I really have thought about this. You asked me, so I'm just telling you, like, that's my final thing. That's what I've come to, like, after reading a lot of it. I really feel that way, but she didn't really see as much as she's letting on. I really think that a lot of the undertone is investigators.
I agree. And so, do you think that she saw Xana? Who do you think she saw ducking in the third story bathroom window? Which, how did she even know? If you could not find Shay, even the house to deliver it to, I'm supposed to believe you knew what story window and for what room you saw it. Not only that, it was on this story, you knew it was the bathroom?
Well, no, I think that, didn't the investigator fill that in?
I don't know. I just remember she's like, it was, do we know what report number it is?
Because,
It was
but maybe Xana did go upstairs because it's the highest point she could look out the window to see if the food's almost here. Because I guarantee you, Xana's probably like the door dashers in the neighborhood. Where are they? And she's like looking for them. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm one too that I look out the window, but I don't like people to see me, so I pop back down. I would totally do that because I'm just weird like that. Because I feel like I'm being sneaky. I'm being like nosy neighbor Nancy. So I could see that happening. It being totally normal, you know?
yeah.
Like,
I'm
yes, that's the highest point in that neighborhood is where that house is, like at the third floor. They could see out.
maybe. I just don't like see the ducking and stuff. I take that into too much time lapse between the night of and um her interview. I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, very well.
Thanks, Joe, for 11 months. Catching up at 1.75 and MJ at that speed is wild. Yeah, I already talk in 2 times, so that's just too fast.
But if they did say they did conditional interviewing with her and they had her tell her story backwards to validate it, because they say you could tell your story from ending to beginning if you're telling the truth.
Hmm.
And they did that with Dylan too already. We saw that in some of the reports.
I just take it as I don't really rely on anything she verbally said. Like,
Is
that
that
doesn't
because of
mean that
how, like, the way you kind of saw her acting in when she was pulled over, or is it like the combination of what you're saying?
it's the combination of it. It's already now that I'm able to, and maybe it was a bad day or days, but no, I take that as a factor, and then
Mhm.
I apply it. And like I said, the time lapsing, if that interview was taken the next day, like a lot of other people's interviews were, okay. I do not like how much time passed and think about how crazy this coverage was from moment one. And she's in the area. It's small. It shook everyone. It was like, how could she have not known? I don't believe she didn't know.
She was in Pullman, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Mm, okay. Well, and then I know that there's the additional footage that's now out, and it's heartbreaking. You could hear so much more. You can literally hear Xana. You could hear the thump so
Mhm.
much clearer, and my heart breaks. Like it really breaks listening to it. It's just so horrific. And to think of, but like, see, this is what I'm talking about, because in the crime scene photos, one end of the beer pong table was undisturbed. The beer pong table in general, right there, is kind of throwing me off when thinking about running to and
Right.
from Xana's room, 2 of them, and not bumping into it at all. Because the end that isn't disturbed is the end that I would anticipate would be disturbed. And then we go back to Bethany and her claiming she heard what sounded like those red Solo cups hitting the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a good point there. It was kind of wild seeing that. But I saw a
Totally.
lot of people saying, "Oh, see, they messed this investigation up. There was a knife there on the ping pong table or on the beer pong table, and they said there wasn't multiple weapons." And I'm like, "Okay, have you like not read anything? Hunter put a knife on the table, like there." And I'm like, Brian already pled guilty. Like it's more like just trying to like steer it away. It's wild.
Oh man.
People like still don't believe the fact that he's pled.
I'm really starting to think that, poor Linda, even more so now that that thud, that boom, was what Bethany's referring to, and a light that was on the ceiling, something created it to flicker. Like have you ever like hit against some, like even when like a storm happens and your power goes, it surges the light or dims it, and that's what I think happened, and that's what she's referring to.
Yeah, I agree. What
Um,
report number are we on? Sorry.
123.
Okay.
So it most likely, Samantha, was Xana hitting the floor. Ethan, it appears, never got out of the bed.
I didn't realize we
But
got this far.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't even think I did either. So this narrative is, let me see. We have Captain Brett, and this is an initial response on the 13th around 1200 hours. I received a phone call from Sergeant Gunderson informing me his team responded to a call at 11:22 where they found 4 deceased college-age individuals inside the residence. He said it was apparent that they had all been murdered. Sergeant Gunderson said they did not know the location or identity of the suspect. Gunderson said his team had cleared the residence and secured the scene. He said they identified a group of college age. Oh, sorry. Let me pause because now I won't be able to control it. Jack's house. That's what I was the last live that you weren't here. What they found all in Shay. That was weird.
What?
All
Oh, Jack Showalters? Yeah.
this. What was up with that?
Yeah. Yeah. I have questions too. That was wild. But did they got in through the maintenance man that saw the blood in the bathroom?
Shay, that's so strange. Like, that's a lot of blood. Now, obviously, if it led back to any victims, we wouldn't be here, but it's strange.
It's strange, but I'm curious what the follow up on that, if there was something that they could
Yeah,
test against. Like, did somebody get injured? Could they test their blood against it? If it,
right. It just is peculiar.
yeah, that was weird. I was like, oh my God.
Taz says, I know tons of hunters that have blood all over their trucks and in their bathrooms. To be fair, I'm from New York, so that is not a thing here, but I do recognize that in other states that is common. It's just not something I know in my world. But okay. All right. So it said, so Sergeant Gunderson said that his team had cleared the residence and secured the scene. He said they identified a group of college-age individuals. Oh, and I'm so sorry, my ADHD is going off the wall. The picture of Murphy under the desk.
Oh, yeah.
Shay. You guys, in one of the crime scene photos, we read in the report that Murphy was found underneath Kaylee's desk hiding. And he's in one of the photos. You can see him curled, this little nugget underneath the desk, scared. And my heart's broken. And I'm very interested to know, when did Murphy come back in? It seems to be very unclear at this stage when he re-entered the residence.
I thought that it said he sounded like he was barking for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yes.
So I don't know when he went back in, but part of me thought that he was trying to get Jack's attention too.
Oh, bless his little heart. Like, it was,
Yeah, because they said they could hear like the barking like towards that house, but they lived over near Jack.
Yeah. And it was interesting because all of a sudden, like recently, he would go into the woods and wouldn't return all of a sudden.
That's wild.
Was out there.
Well, and the stuff that we heard about from Brian's like childhood friend that died. Remember, like, I don't know if he's like that was the one that died or a different one, but like how he idolized the father. They said he was like going in and stealing stuff.
Yes.
And that he would sit in the woods a lot, and then they found candy wrappers out there. Like,
good
this
memory.
Yes. It freaked me out when I heard the thing about the woods. I was just like, it could just be two different separate things, but just very weird.
But I forgot about that.
Yes, that's what I was like, what if he was trying to like calm Murphy down, like get him used to him?
Yes. So that when oh my gosh, yes. That's a good theory. And I'm sorry, I'll never get through this report, but things are just popping through my head because it's been so long. I haven't spoken to you about this at all.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm over here just like totally, it's wild.
You think so, Harlot? Like, yeah, that's a good point. Like getting familiar so because once dogs meet you, they know your scent, period. Yeah, pulling like a Reese's with ET type of thing, like, oh, MK, thank you. One hello, thank you. That's very kind of you. Congratulations. We have 5 new members. Please thank MK if you got busted out. And thank you, Andrea, for 8 months. Glad you're back. Me too. Thank you. But like ET style, Reese's M&Ms, like Reese's Pieces, like
Mhm.
it's weird. It's weird because, and this is, once again, we're not going to have the answer, so we're taking all these little pieces of the puzzle and we know it's very strange because we know the end picture to the puzzle, but we don't know all the pieces that make it up, and we're dealing with pieces that don't fit. You have 5 corners when you could only have 4. It's a little bit, I don't know. I'm hoping to get more clarity as time goes on.
So,
And thank you for 29 months, MK. You're welcome, MJ. Glad to see you back on. Me too. I've missed your sarcastic humor. Very nice of you. Yes. Okay. So it says that I called Chief Fry, Captain Lanier, and Captain Dallinger to let them know about the homicide. I called Detective Sergeant Lawrence and I told him about the homicide and asked him to call in detectives. Sergeant Lawrence said he would call in Sergeant Blaker and Corporal Payne to assist as well because they were slated to rotate into detectives soon. Sergeant Lawrence said he was also calling the Idaho State Police to ask the Region 2 detectives to process the crime scene. I called BE, U of I Dean of Students, and BL with U of I Office of Public Safety and Security to inform them of the homicide because the residence was near the U of I campus and the victims appeared to be college students. When I arrived on scene, I met with Sergeant Gunnarsson and Sergeant Lawrence on the street in front of the residence. We briefly discussed the scene and I was given the names of the 4 individuals who were killed: Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogen, and Kaylee Goncalves. I was also told 2 of the witnesses outside, Dylan and Bethany, were roommates and were apparently inside the residence when the incident occurred. Sergeant Gunnarsson told me a dog was taken out of Kaylee's room and transported to the Humane Society for safekeeping. He told me it didn't appear that the dog had gone into the rooms where the murders were committed because it didn't have any visible blood on its body. I contacted U of I Dean and gave him the victims' names and asked if he could verify if they were students. He contacted me later and confirmed that all 4 were students but didn't have any emergency contact information for them other than their permanent addresses. At 13:04, U of I sent out a vandal alert text message regarding the homicide. About 13:30 hours, we moved the witness, who I believed were students, that patrol identified on King Road to the Moscow Police Department training room. I met with Sergeant Lawrence, Sergeant Blaker, Corporal Payne, and Detective Mowry and asked them to start interviewing each person. I also met with CF, the U of I Associate Dean of Students, at the police department. I talked to her earlier about having the students come to the police department to be interviewed. She had an assistant with her, and they were there to comfort the students and be a resource if necessary. While I was in the training room, I was told 2 of the witnesses were Ethan Chapin's triplets, so Maisie and Hunter. They told me their parents had been informed of Ethan's death, and they were on their way to Moscow. I asked Sergeant Lawrence to arrange death notifications for Kaylee and Maddie and both of their parents. He later informed me Kootenai deputy went to the Goncalves' home to notify them of Kaylee's death, and they had already been made aware. Captain Dallinger told me he met Xana's father on the scene, and Captain Dallinger said he asked him to meet him at the police station where he informed him of Xana's death. Sergeant Lawrence said a Coeur d'Alene officer went to SNK, their house, to notify them of Madison Mogen's death. Kay is Madison's mom. Lawrence was informed that the L had been informed and were already on their way to Moscow. When they arrived at the police department, I did the death notification and I asked Sergeant Lawrence to interview them. At around 14:15 hours, I met with the president and his staff in his office on campus. I was told about the homicide. I told them about the homicide and that the suspect's location and identity remained unknown. I returned to the PD and Jack Decor approached me asking if I could release the dog, Murphy, to him. He said he and Kaylee both own the dog. At that point, I was busy working with detectives and administration, and I did not release the dog. I talked with Corporal Payne, who had interviewed Jack. He said Jack had been in a relationship with Kaylee Goncalves, indicating they broke up a few months ago. Corporal Payne said Jack told him that he and Goncalves remained friends after their breakup. I asked about the dog that had been removed from the residence and taken to the animal shelter. Corporal Payne said Jack told him that he and Kaylee both owned the dog. Later that afternoon, Jack approached me again and asked if I could release the dog to him. I asked Corporal Lanier, who was with Sergeant Gunderson outside 1122 King Road, and Captain Lanier confirmed with Gunderson that they understood Jack co-owned the dog and the dog was taken to the animal shelter for safekeeping. I was told the dog was uninjured and didn't have any blood on it. I agreed to release Murphy to Jack because it was my understanding we had only taken the dog into custody for safekeeping and he was the owner. I asked to have a patrol officer meet Jack at the animal shelter to release the dog. I continue to work with detectives and command staff for the rest of the day.
Oh.
Thank you, Tess. Stealing your thunder again, MK. Haha, so happy to have you back. Thank you, Captain, my captain. Thank you so much. It's hard. Ugh. Okay. So let me flip. Got this. Ready?
Yes. Okay. So this is Danny Vargas, narrative of friends and family area canvas. On November 20th, 2022, multiple friends and family of the victims gathered in Moscow, organized into several groups, and canvassed several areas in Moscow for possible evidence. I was contacted by several people from the groups when they located something of interest. I met with the groups and photographed and collected the following items: a clear food service grade plastic glove located at the top of the hillside to the west of the walking path in between Nez Perez and the U of I administration building. Just down from where this plastic glove was located was a large beige metal generator box. There was a plastic bag inside of the box, which looked like it had white grease rags inside of it. That's weird. I photographed this item and then did not collect it. A light pink beige pair of women's underwear, Warner's brand. This was located in a juniper shrub by the Shattuck Amphitheater in the Charles Houston Shattuck Arboretum. A black winter glove, one size fits all. This item was located near the steps which led from Memorial Gym parking lot 39 up to the tennis courts. The items I collected were transported to MPD, stored in a temporary storage, and detected so they could dry and later be booked into MPD evidence. One group located what they believed to be blood spots on several rocks in the Arboretum and Botanical Garden near the gathering place on the north side near the kiosk. Detective Talbot with ISP tested the spots and determined they were not blood. One group located what they believed to be blood on the stairs at Building 5 at the Grove Apartments. Detective Talbot determined this was not blood. The photos I took were copied to a DVD and booked into MPD evidence, signed Vargas.
I really hope, Shay, that they have reports about looking for the weapon. That's gonna bother me. That's really gonna bother me.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you.
It's a good question, Harlot.
Do you mind if I'm going to drop and come right back in? I'm going to come in on my computer, okay?
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So this is the detailed information about Kaylee's dog during the initial response. So on the 13th at approximately 12:05 hours, I arrived at 1122 King Road, referencing an unconscious an unconscious subject. Whoops. It was quickly determined the scene was likely a quadruple homicide based on our observations. So when I arrived on the third floor to assess the scene, I noticed a medium-sized curly-haired tan dog on the bed. Okay. Inside the western third floor bedroom, Kaylee's room. The dog appeared timid and scared and didn't react to our presence. Due to the chaos surrounding the scene, my initial concern was preserving the scene. As part of that process, I asked one of the officers to shut the door so the dog did not attempt to jump on the bed with any of the victims. Hold on. After the area was cordoned off and the area was secure, Corporal Snyder began taking photos of the scene. At some point prior to this process, the dog moved from the bed to under the desk in Kaylee's room. Okay. After photos were completed, I asked LCSO Deputy Olson to respond and assist by taking the dog to the Humane Society. I collected the dog from under the desk. The dog was timid and took some coaxing to move from under the desk, but did not appear to have any obvious injuries or stains on its paws or body. That's so horrible because he was probably traumatized and just didn't want to move. Due to the amount of blood inside the bedrooms where the victims were located and the lack of blood on or around the dog, I don't believe the dog was on or around the victims. I walked the dog to the front door where Officer Warner was stationed, and I asked him to hold onto the dog until Deputy Olson arrived. A short time later, Olson arrived, and I walked the dog to Deputy Olson, who was standing in the street. At my request, Deputy Olson transported the dog to the Humane Society. I did not take any photos of the dog specifically during my response. Some of the photos taken by Corporal Snyder have the dog in the background. That's what we saw. The dog can also be seen on my body-worn camera. In reviewing Officer Nunez's initial response and clear of the residence, the door to Goncalves' room was open upon his arrival, and the dog was laying on the bed. So Murphy was just sitting there. He was just sitting there. Hi, Shy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No,
I
you're
was
fine.
dumb. I figured, I don't know if my eyesight's just off right now.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Just let me know if you're not. Usually I'm the one crumbling.
Oh no, I'll be good. Thank you.
So it seemed like Murphy was on the bed. Bless his little doggy heart. He must have been so scared, Shy.
He's so cute.
I know. You want to read this one? If you
Yes,
can.
sorry. I don't know why it was cutting out on me. No, I got it. On January 11th, 2023, I met with KN, General Counsel for the University of Idaho, to facilitate the download of video footage from the campus security cameras. I previously spoke with DL, Director of Infrastructure Services, who had preserved videos to be reviewed for any evidence related to the quadruple homicides at 1122 King Road on November 13, 2022, provided the university with a storage device capable of storing large amounts of video. On January 18th, I received a message stating the transfer of the videos was complete and the normal saving of everything was done. Not to be repetitive.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You could read it. The next one. These are financial warrants. Let's see. What? Okay. What? Can you not see anything? Oh. Am I not staring at my screen? What happened? There we go. Okay.
Okay. This is Lawrence Mowry. On November 19, 2022, I applied for and was granted several warrants for financial institutions who serve the Moscow, Idaho region. Forensic account MD with the Federal Bureau of Investigations assisted in the production and service of the warrants. The warrants were approved for the financial records associated with Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogen, Xana Alexia Kernodle, and Kaylee J. Goncalves, as well as Bethany and Dylan, and any video surveillance pertaining to account transactions of the previously mentioned from the following financial institutions: Bank of America. Looks like the warrant was served on November 21st via FedEx. FAD, which might be Douglas, reported the data requested pursuant to the warrant was received on December 6th. The data files were downloaded and everything's stored accordingly. I bet that's Douglas because he was doing the financial stuff.
Mm-hmm. What does it say? It says reviewed by Corporal Payne. What were you gonna say?
Nothing. You ever got like one toe that like needs to pop, but it won't pop?
Oh,
and it's just
yeah.
bothering you?
Oh, yeah.
You
gotta pop that pinky. It's gotta go wee, wee, wee all the way home. All right, this is financial warrants too. It's the same thing. I applied for forensic account of, let me see.
It's just American Express. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay.
And then it just has L and M added above, so I don't know who that's for.
I'm sure we're gonna see a lot because they were looking into so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's this? Microsoft provision?
Yeah, so December 7th, 2022, I was requested by Corporal Brett Payne to complete a preservation letter on the Microsoft Xbox gamer tag of redacted, which was reportedly the user ID for CC. I completed a PDF document and submitted the preservation request through Microsoft's LE portal located at the LE portal Microsoft.com. I received an email approximately 11:42 hours stating they received the request and assigned this ID. This was by Lawrence Mowry. CC was mentioned before. Was CC the one that was that the one that was like the kid that was leaving the dorm room, or was this the one that was at the bar?
I thought CC is the one that they had asked. Who was it? The friends. Was it Maddie's friends? I read it the last time, and they kept asking about a CC. Does she know? Right? Wasn't it the CC initials?
I thought so, and I thought that was the guy that was up at the bar and got kicked out.
Maybe.
And I think, and I'm wondering, was he the one? No, that was Cole Behringer, right? Because CB was the one that had was the DNA. That was the DNA under Maddie's nails. It was one of the ones they tested for. Sorry, not that it was, but yeah, possibility could be. That's interesting. I don't remember who CC is now.
CC. Okay, yeah, Cole. But what Shay? Harlot. That's like the fourth time I've done that during these investigative reports. I say Shay instead of Harlot. But was CC the one that they asked? Are you guys aware of a CC? Do you know if Kaylee was it or was it Maddie? We read the report last live. I remember it being. I thought it was CC. CB is the one who had possible DNA under Maddie's nails. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's this? Video collection and tips by Vargas. Tips provided. So on the 17th of November, Detective Chris Angle with PPD provided me with an email with information regarding several Pullman home invasions involving a possible suspect of JAC redacted. I forwarded this email to the FBI Moscow tip line to be assigned and followed up with. So on December 13th, I saw an article online of the recent arrest of SH in redacted. H was arrested for stabbing multiple people at a casino and fled the area in a white sedan. I reached out and spoke with Detective MA with redacted county, and he provided me with the description of the suspect vehicle and the weapon which was used in this offense. We have a bunch of redactions. They also stated the sheath for the knife was located on the passenger seat of the suspect vehicle. I determined this person was not involved in our incident and told Detective A I would not need any further information regarding it. Around December 15th, I received a phone call from Detective F with information on an abandoned 2016 white Honda. Oh, wow. Remember that? Abandoned Hyundai Elantra, which is located in redacted county near a residence. I called Detective F back and he provided me with the plate. which was registered to CC out of redacted.
There you go. Now it just answered us.
Damn. Detective F stated there was a past contact at the residence where this vehicle was seen parked involving a relative of C, E, P, C, and R, L, S. Detective F sent me a photo of the vehicle, which I determined did not match the suspect vehicle description. Sergeant Blaker had also received this tip and spoke with him. So a video obtained was on November 15th. I called KF, the property owner for redacted Linda Lane, and asked about video footage he has on the property. So he stated he did have video and later sent me an email with a direct login to his camera system, and so the videos could be viewed for any time frame. Details of the email are followed. R&D below is a link to a Google Drive with footage from our cameras at Linda Lane. I uploaded videos from 2 cameras from 0200 through 0600 on the 13th. One camera shows the parking lot of redacted, including a little bit of the parking lot from the Queen Apartments below. The other camera covers the street of Linda Lane looking towards Taylor Blake. The longer videos, larger files, show an entire hour, while the shorter videos show clips where the camera and system detected motion. The videos are currently uploading, so keep refreshing if they are not all there. Additionally, I am providing a login to the camera system so that you can review any of the cameras for any time frame. Once logged in, you can choose any of the 4 cameras from the list on the right. You can click the playback tab. Okay, note that the camera that points down Linda Lane goes offline every day from redacted for a scheduled Wi-Fi reset. In addition to using a web browser, there's a PC app. Okay, if you need any help viewing any of this, don't hesitate to reach out. I forwarded this information onto the FBI on how to access Linda Lane. On November 27th, I called CF. I asked if she still had her Nest camera system, and she stated she did. She put me in contact with her husband, and he said he could provide me with their available camera footage. They brought me a hard drive to MPD, which contained video footage from their Nest cameras. A white sedan matching the description of the suspect vehicle is seen traveling west on Indian Hills Drive and passes by Indian Hills Drive on the 13th at approximately 3:25 hours. Around the end of November and beginning of December, Detective Chris Engel, PPD, provided me with the following videos from several Pullman businesses. On the 2nd of December, Engel provided me with the contact information for redacted. I reached out to the corporate security head, and he stated he would come to the branch in Pullman and view the video on site to see if it would be of any evidentiary value prior to requesting a search warrant to obtain the video. So the FBI made arrangements to view the available video, and the FBI called me and told me he viewed the available video and did not locate anything of evidentiary value. So on January 3rd, record specialist sent me a link to PPD evidence and shared all videos and photos for 2 PPD cases. It was found buck knife in a sheath located on Terraview in front of WSU Technology Research Park on December 29th. The photos for this case are attached in Spillman to the original call and did not download the photos from PPD evidence. There was a hit and run DUI accident, which occurred on the 12th at approximately 23:40 hours. This location is on the same road leading to Kohberger's apartment complex. Multiple officers responded to this location and remained on scene for several hours with their car cameras and body cameras capturing video. The video spans from the 12th at 23:41 hours to the 13th at 3:25 hours. The suspect vehicle was located on WSU Greek Row, and officers responded to that location as well. The owner of the suspect vehicle was contacted and arrested for this offense and booked into the Whitman County Jail. While reviewing the photos located on Kohberger's phone, I found a screenshot of F. Whitman County booking information taken from the Whitman County Jail roster, last modified on the 13th at 6:27 p.m. I downloaded all the videos from PPD evidence regarding and will review to see if Kohberger drove by the incident 23:41 to 3:25 hours. Dude.
Whoa, that's nuts. I was not expecting that.
I have speculation.
Tell me, what?
Do you remember people talking about this DUI?
The accident itself? Yeah, I remember people like finding the car and like going up and filming it and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he was looking into potentially framing someone? Too far?
If that would be the case, then it would have to be because you left the sheet. Do I think that was the plan beforehand? Going into it? No.
No, not going into it. It's the 13th at 6:27 p.m. now. Now that's a little time passed. Was he kind of gauging potential options there?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Anything on his phone that he's looking up is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. I think he followed a lot of stuff, I'm sure. I mean, we haven't even seen any of that.
Yeah.
I can't wait if we do get to see, I don't want to see the gross stuff, but. All right, so we got a WatchGuard receipt of Mingles transactions. On November 17, 2022, TR of Mingles Bar and Grill provided copies of all credit card transactions for Mingles for November 12, 2022. R provided these copies to NPD reception. I received the transaction records on 1/24/2023, and on January 26th, I scanned the documents and digitally attached them to this case. The originals were provided to NPD records. Where's Mingles Bar and Grill? Let's look.
I don't know. I've never heard of a Mingles.
I'm looking right now. Mingles Bar and Grill.
Get me hungry.
It's in Lansing, Illinois. Did his dad and him drive? They didn't drive through there, did they?
I don't know. Shay, don't ask me anything about directions or driving. That's not my forte.
Why? I need to know. This is a really weird one. I want to know why. Why that place? Why in Illinois?
Why Mingles?
Why? Okay, sorry. Okay,
to the
next
list.
one. Yeah, that's really weird to me. I don't know. And I like the name too. It makes me want Pringles.
Yeah, I think I'm just hungry. Thanks, Coffee and Skeletons.
All right.
This is just the one from Dog God.
Okay. So release a dog from shelter. So November 13th at around 1800 hours, I was tasked with releasing Murphy from the Humane Society to Jack. The dog had been transported earlier in the day from King Road to the Humane Society by Latah County Sheriff's Officer Deputy Olson. I released the dog to Jack without incident and gave the impound paperwork to Captain Lanier. No BWC. So I don't know what that means. No. I don't know. No BWC.
No BWC. No. I don't know.
I'm like, that's weird.
No BWC. All right, what's this one? This is the Tinder Kohberger warrant.
Ooh la la.
January 24th, 2023, I applied for a warrant for the user subscriber information and user data associated with Tinder for Kohberger with any of the following identifiers, and we have his emails, including the DeSales, his IME phone number. January 25th, on the 2023, warrant was granted and signed by Magistrate Megan Marshall with 7 days to serve the legal process. January 26, 2023, at approximately 0922 hours, the warrant was served via the Tinder law enforcement portal. I received an email shortly after the submission confirming the receipt of the request and assigning the internal reference. Later that day, I received a call from SM, customer representative for Match Group. M informed me they had located a previous account linked to the email. However, no further information was available as the account was deleted. I requested any and all information available for the deleted account. On January 30th, I received an email from Tinder stating the data requested pursuant to the warrant was available for download. I logged into law enforcement's portal and began downloading the files to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at the MPD. In reviewing the contents, I found several unique identifiers associated with redacted the redacted Gmail account. These UIDs were also associated with the phone number. The UIDs were as followed: redacted. A warrant return receipt and affidavit were completed. Okay. And it was sent to match.com. So we knew he had, oh yeah, no body worn camera. Thank you guys. No BWC is no body worn camera.
Okay. Thank you.
So we knew he had a Tinder at one point, but he deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is Tinder warrant for the Mogen users.
December 22nd, 2022, I applied and was granted a warrant for the user subscribed for subscriber information associated with accounts that communicated with Maddie Mogen's Tinder account using the following identifiers: redacted. On December 22nd at approximately 1500 hours, the warrant was served via the law enforcement portal. On January 30th, I received an email from Tinder stating the data requested pursuant to the warrant were available to download. I logged into the portal and I pulled all that stuff out and saved it where I was supposed to save it. Sorry, we're just not repeating these because it's like the same long words over and over.
I don't think they're complaining, Shay.
I know some people are like, you're just like skimming through it. I'm like, yeah, but when you've read it like 10 times in a row, it's like a tongue twister.
It gets extremely repetitive. Hold on, though. I walked away for 1 second. Even though
okay. It's all coming back to me now.
It's all coming back to me now.
I love that music video. Isn't that like one of the best?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't make music like they used to.
Or music videos.
No, just nothing. Like there are no instruments, no life, nothing.
I know they got like the big fans and her hair's like blowing back. It's like ethereal.
So good.
So good.
Both. So this is the arrest warrant and arrest of Kohberger. Oh, so based off information obtained during the course of this investigation, I applied for an arrest warrant for Kohberger on the 29th of December, signed 2022. Previous search warrants and information led investigators to believe Kohberger left Pullman and returned to his parents' home in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. So Gilbertson, TS from the FBI, and I flew to Pennsylvania on December 29th and met with the Pennsylvania State Police and the FBI personnel there. At approximately 0100 hours on December 30th, the PSP SERT team conducted an operation and took Kohberger into custody based off the warrant signed by Judge Marshall. Kohberger was taken into a nearby PSP barracks where Sergeant Gilbertson and I interviewed him for approximately 45 minutes. See Sergeant Gilbertson's report on the interview for full details. The warrant was served to Kohberger upon his extradition back to Idaho and his booking into Lada County Jail. I guarantee the next one will be that.
Yeah, I've watched so many of the interviews with law enforcement, and the ones that they talk about like interviewing him is interesting.
Super. Okay. I wasn't getting dots. I've been off dots for a bit. Like I tend to eat something a lot that I finally like. And then I'm like, so I still love dots. I'm stocked with dots, but I just haven't been eating dots. Know what I mean?
What a shame.
Yeah.
You gave up on them.
No. I love them. I support them. They're here. I just haven't gone for them.
Did you ever get those pretzels you ordered? Or wait, what was it? What did you order? Oh, your nugget, your Raisinets.
I did. I
And you
did.
kept calling milk duds. I was like,
Yeah.
how dare you shame a milk
Yeah.
dud?
They came in a box with like a cooling device and everything because I was worried about the
What?
heat too. Yeah, it came in like a special package that had ice packs and stuff. So not one was melted. Not one dud or raisinette was melted.
It was not a
I don't know why I call it milk duds.
Do they
But
taste as good as you remember?
yeah, there's too many, there's like 8 of them, I just wanted one.
You have 8 boxes of Raisinets.
Resealable bags. Like that's the only option it had was to buy in bulk. I have a lot of Raisinets.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah.
You only live once.
You only live once. YOLO.
Okay. Next one is the Kohberger information and cell phone search warrants. As part of the investigation on an extensive search, commonly referred to in law enforcement as a video canvas, was conducted in the area of King Road, residents and surrounding neighborhoods in an effort to locate the suspects or suspect vehicles traveling to or leaving from the King Road residence. This video canvas resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses. I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversations with the other MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained. A review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan, hereafter suspect vehicle 1, has entered. This is where it came from. Right here, Melissa. I knew it. I knew it's how they were labeling them.
We said that from day one because it was the first suspect vehicle. And if there was a second, now they could say the second suspect vehicle too. It made all the sense in the world. People are God.
There was like, no, it's because there's one. They didn't label it because there's another vehicle because there was a whole gang of, drug lords coming to wreak havoc on a little Idaho college town. But anyways, okay, back over to suspect vehicle 1 entering into the chat. Was observed traveling westbound in the block of Indian Hills Drive in Moscow at approximately 3:26 a.m. and westbound on Steiner Avenue at Idaho State Highway 95 in Moscow at approximately 3:28 a.m. On this video, it appeared suspect vehicle 1 was not displaying a front license plate, nor did it appear the vehicle had fog lights on the lower portion of the front bumper, based off video obtained from the SM located blank. This was the video which captured suspect vehicle 1 crossing South Main Street from Steiner Avenue to Lauder Avenue at approximately 3:28 a.m. Yeah, see, this is where Anne was going to kind of go in, look at the gaps,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you could have turned here,
Yeah, unless you could have one continuous feed. Yeah. Okay.
Right. But the timing of how long it takes to drive, mapping that out is important. Okay. So a review of footage from multiple videos obtained from the King Road neighborhood showed multiple sightings of suspect vehicle 1 starting at 3:29 a.m. and ending at 4:20 a.m. These sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an... I'm scrolling in. You mind scrolling down?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I think I did.
Oh, now I see it. I don't know. No, it's like delayed on my end for some reason. So there we go. Suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes by the 1122 King Road residence and then leave via Walenta Drive. Based off of my experience as a patrol officer, this is a residential neighborhood with a very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area. during the early morning hours. Upon review of the video, there are only a few cars that enter and exit this area during this time frame. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a fourth time at approximately 4:04 a.m. After this, do you want to watch the video, Melissa, or no?
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to. I thought it might be a good way to intro that to the convo. Okay. So it can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of redacted Queen Road and an apartment number, and then driving back westbound on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence, it appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn and then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. Suspect vehicle 1 is next seen departing the area of the King Road residence at approximately 4:20 a.m. at a high rate of speed. SV1 is what I'm going to call it now because I'm starting to get a mouthful. Is next observed traveling southbound on Wellington Drive. Based on my knowledge of the area and review of camera footage in the neighborhood, that does not show SV1 during that time frame. I believe that SV1 likely exited the neighborhood at Palouse River Drive and Conestoga Drive. Palouse River Drive is at the southern edge of Moscow and proceeds into Whitman County, Washington. Eventually, the road leads to Pullman, Washington. Pullman, Washington is approximately 10 miles from Moscow, Idaho. Both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns, and people commonly travel back and forth between them. Law enforcement officers provided video footage of SV1 to forensic examiners with the FBI that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify the year, make, and model of an unknown vehicle that is observed by one or more cameras during the commission of a criminal offense. The forensic examiner has approximately 35 years law enforcement experience with 12 years at the FBI. His specific training includes identifying unique characteristics of vehicles, and he uses a database that gives visual clues of vehicles across states to identify differences between vehicles. After reviewing the numerous observations of SV1, the forensic examiner initially believed that the SV1 was a 2011 to 13 Hyundai Elantra. Upon further review, he indicated it could also be a 2011 to 16 Hyundai Elantra. As a result, the investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is 2011 to 16 white Hyundai Elantra. Investigators were given access to video footage on the Washington State University campus located in Pullman. A review of that video indicated that at approximately 2:53 a.m. on November 13th, a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as SV1, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman, Washington, towards SR 270. SR 270 connects Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. I don't know why I read it that way. This camera footage from Pullman was provided to the same FBI forensic examiner. The forensic examiner identified the vehicle observed in Pullman as being a 2014 to 2016. So that's what we heard, Melissa, that the Washington footage was better.
Yep.
Okay. So at approximately 5:25 a.m., a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of SV1, was observed on 5 cameras in Pullman and on WSU campus cameras. The first camera that recorded the white sedan was located at redacted Johnson Road in Pullman. The white sedan was observed traveling northbound on Johnson Road. Johnson Road leads directly back to West Palouse River Drive in Moscow, which intersects with Conestoga Drive. The white sedan was then observed turning north on Bishop Boulevard and northwest on SR 270 at approximately 5:27 a.m. The white Elantra was observed on cameras traveling northbound on Stadium Way at Nevada Street, Stadium Way at Grimes Way, Stadium Drive at Wilson Road, and Stadium Way at Cougar Way. On November 25th, 2022, excuse me, Moscow Police Department asked area law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for the white Hyundai Elantra in the area. On November 29th, 2022, you want to scroll down? I'm still reading. But
You never read from my page.
I'm reading from mine. I'm on. Where are you at? Right there, yeah. Okay, November 25th, 2022, MPD asked area law enforcement to issue that BOLO. So on November 29th at approximately 12:28 a.m., a WSU police officer Daniel Tiango queried white Elantras registered at WSU. As a result of that query, he located a two. Oh, hold on one second. I need a drink.
Okay. It gets repetitive, guys.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying not to cough. And I'm grabbing. Hold on. I'm gonna grab my water. I don't think an energy drink's gonna
Hydrate
help.
some shit.
I know. I opened a Red Bull earlier and didn't finish it, so I was like just sipping on it.
Did it give you wings?
No, no, and my eyesight feels off. That's why I put it on my computer, thinking I could read it better. And I cleaned my glasses and just I don't know if it's just a headache coming on or something, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys, back at it. Okay, so we're at Daniel Tiango. So he was querying the white Elantras. He said, a result of that query, he located a 2015 white Elantra with a Pennsylvania license plate. This vehicle was registered to Bryan Kohberger, hereafter Kohberger, residing at Redacted, Pullman, Washington. Redacted is approximately 3/4 of a mile from the intersection of Stadium Way and Cougar Way, the last camera location that picked up the white Elantra. That same day, at approximately 12:58 a.m., WSU officer Curtis Whitman was looking for white Hyundai Elantras and located a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra at Redacted and Pullman in the parking lot. Okay, this was at isn't the Steptoe Apartments or something?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an apartment complex that houses WSU students. Officer Whitman also ran the car and it returned to Kohberger with a Washington tag. So upon receipt of this information, I review Kohberger's WA state driver's license information and photograph via driver's license query for that name. This license indicates that Kohberger is a white male with a height of 6 foot and weighs 185 pounds. Additionally, the photograph of Kohberger shows that he has bushy eyebrows. Kohberger's physical description, oh Lord, is consistent with the description of the male Dylan saw inside the King Road residence on November 13th. Further investigation, including a review of the Latah County Sheriff's Deputy CPL Duke's body cam and report, showed that on August 21st, 2022, Bryan was detained as part of a traffic stop that occurred in Moscow, Idaho, by Corporal Duke. At the time, Kohberger, who was the sole occupant, was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate redacted, which was set to expire on November 30th, 2022. During the stop, which was recorded via a LE body camera, Kohberger provided his phone number as redacted, hereafter the 8458 phone, as his cellular telephone number. Investigators conducted electronic database queries and learned that the 8458 phone is a number issued by AT&T. On October 14, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was detained as part of a traffic stop by a WSU police officer. Upon review of that body camera and report of the stop, Kohberger was the sole occupant and was driving the white Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plates. On November 18, 2022, according to Washington State licensing, Kohberger registered the 2015 white Elantra with Washington and later received Washington plates redacted. Prior to this time, the 2015 white Elantra was registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require a front license plate to be displayed. This was learned through communications with a Pennsylvania officer who is currently certified in the state of Pennsylvania. Based on my own experience and communication with Washington law enforcement, I know that Idaho and Washington require front and back license plates to be displayed. Investigators believe that Kohberger continued to drive the white Elantra as if you don't mind scrolling, I'll keep reading. Vehicle was captured on December 13, 2022, by a license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. Information provided by a query to a database. Kohberger's launcher was then queried on December 15, 2022 by law enforcement in Hancock County, Indiana. It was later learned this query was a result of a traffic stop in Hancock County, Indiana, wherein Kohberger was the driver of the white launcher with his father as the passenger. Kohberger was stopped again 9 minutes later in Hancock County and released without citation or further enforcement. On December 16, 2022, at approximately 2:26 p.m., surveillance video obtained by request of FBI agents in Pennsylvania showed Kohberger's Elantra in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. The only visible occupant of the vehicle was a white male whose description was consistent with Kohberger. Kohberger has family in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, learned through a TLO search and locate tool database query, namely redacted, an address which is inside the gated community where the footage was captured. Yeah, it's interesting.
She's like, damn, this is long.
I don't mind. I'm just like I'm really I like the detail, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At least it's not just like I got this warrant, I got that warrant, you know?
No, it's very detailed, and that's what we need.
Right. Based on information provided on the WSU website, Kohberger was a PhD student in criminology at WSU. Pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for Pullman Police Department, we learned that the fall 2022 semester was Kohberger's first semester at WSU. What she said?
Harlot said, I bet this is where the news station got that he was pulled over for 9 or 10 minutes apart. If you look at the damn timestamps, he was pulled over for around 5 hours apart, not 9 minutes. Ah, face. Media has gotten so much wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really have. Okay, so we learned that the fall 2022 semester was Kohberger's first semester at WSU. Additionally, these same records indicated Kohberger's past education included undergraduate degree in psychology and cloud-based forensics. These records also show Kohberger wrote an essay when he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 2022. Kohberger wrote in his essay he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data in public safety operations. Kohberger also posted a Reddit survey which can be found by an open source internet search. The survey asked for participants to provide information to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making when committing a crime. Confirmed. As part of this,
Aware of that too.
huh?
And Bryan is very well aware of that too because he was studying it.
Mm-hmm. As part of this investigation, LE obtained search warrants to determine cellular devices that utilize cellular towers in close proximity to the King Road residence on November 13th between 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. After determining that Kohberger was associated to both the 2015 white Elantra and the 8458 phone, investigators reviewed the search warrant returns. A query of the 8458 phone in these returns did not show the 8458 phone utilizing cellular tower resources in close proximity to King Road between 3 to 5 a.m. Based on my training experience and conversations with LE officers that specialize in utilization of cellular telephone records, as part of the investigation, individuals can either leave their cellular telephone at a different location before committing a crime or turn their cellular telephone off prior to going to a location to commit a crime. This is done by subjects in an effort to avoid alerting LE that a cellular device associated with them was in a particular area where a crime is committed. I also know that on numerous occasions, subjects will surveil an area where they intend to commit a crime prior to the date of the crime. Depending on the circumstance, this could be done a few days before or several months prior to the commission of a crime. During these types of surveillance, it is possible that an individual would not leave their cellular telephone at a separate location or turn it off since they do not plan to commit the offense on that particular day. On December 23rd, 2022, I applied for and was granted a search warrant for historical phone records between November 12th, 2022 at 12 a.m. and November 14th at 12 a.m. for the 8458 phone held by the phone provider AT&T approximately 24 hours preceding and following the times of the homicides. Next page. On December 23rd, 2022, pursuant to that search warrant, I received records for the 8458 phone from AT&T. These records indicated that the 8458 phone is subscribed to Bryan Kohberger at an address in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, and the account has been ongoing since June 23rd, 2022. These records also include historical site location information, CSLI, for the 8458 phone. After receiving this information, I consulted with an FBI special agent, SA, that is certified as a member of the Cellular Analyst Survey Team, CAST. Members of CAST are certified with the FBI to provide expert testimony in the field of historical CSLI and are required to pass extensive training that includes both written and practical examinations prior to being certified with CAST, as well as the completion of yearly certification requirements. Ugh. Additionally, the FBI CAST SA that I consulted with has over 15 years of federal law enforcement experience, which includes 6 years with the FBI. From information provided by CAST, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from November 12th to November 13th, 2022, the time period authorized by the court. On November 13th, 2022, at approximately 2:42 a.m., the 8458 phone was utilizing cellular resources that provide coverage to redacted Pullman, Washington, which is Steptoe Apartments here after the Kohberger residence. At approximately 2:47 a.m., the 8458 phone stops reporting to the network, which is consistent with either the phone being in an area without cellular coverage or connection to the network is disabled, such as putting the phone in airplane mode or that the phone is turned off. The 8458 phone does not report to the network again until approximately 4:48 a.m., at which time it utilized cellular resources that provided coverage to Idaho State Highway 95 south of Moscow, Idaho near Blaine, Idaho, north of Genesee. Between 4:50 a.m. and 5:26 a.m., the phone utilizes cellular resources that are consistent with the 8458 phone traveling south on Idaho State Highway 95 to Genesee, then traveling west towards Uniontown, Washington, and then north back into Pullman, Washington. At approximately 5:30 a.m., the 8458 phone is utilizing resources that provide coverage to Pullman and Washington and consistent with the phone traveling back to the Kohberger residence. The 8458 phone's movements are consistent with the movements of the white Elantra that is observed traveling north on Stadium Drive at approximately 5:27 a.m. based on a review of the 8458 phone's estimated locations and travel. The 8458 phone's travel is consistent with that of the white Elantra. Further review indicated that the 8458 phone utilized cell resources November 13th that are consistent with the 8458 phone leaving the area of the Kohberger residence at approximately 9 a.m. and traveling to Moscow, Idaho. Specifically, the 8458 phone utilized resources that would provide coverage to the King Road residence between 9:12 a.m. and 9:21 a.m. The 8458 phone next utilized resources that are consistent with the 8458 phone traveling back to the area of Kohberger's home and arriving there around 9:32 a.m. So 12 minutes his phone was in the area of the Kohberger residence the following morning.
Well,
So
9 minutes.
it's not. Oh yeah, 9 minutes. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
I was looking at 9 a.m. to 9:12. Sorry.
Yeah. I think he was surveilling.
Yeah, I don't think he got out to go get the sheath. I do not.
No, and that thumbs up was like, fuck, man, no way.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so investigators found that Bryan's phone did connect to a cell phone tower that provides service to Moscow on November 14th, but investigators do not believe. I'm just going to say Bryan's phone, guys, for 8458 because it is a lot. So Bryan's phone was in Moscow on that date. Bryan's phone has not connected to any towers that provide service to Moscow since that date. So based on my training experience and the facts of the investigation thus far, I believe that Bryan, the user of the 8458 phone, was likely the driver of the white Elantra that is observed departing Pullman, and that this vehicle is likely suspect vehicle 1, also known as SV1. Additionally, the route of travel of Bryan's phone during the early morning hours of November 13th, and the lack of the phone being reported to AT&T between the times of 2:47 a.m. and 4:48 a.m. is consistent with Bryan attempting to conceal his location during the quadruple homicide that occurred at the King Road residence. Bryan
Sure.
would like. Mhm. Bryan would likely have information on how cellular data can be utilized in criminal investigations as part of his past studies. So on December 23rd, I was granted a search warrant for Kohberger's historical CSLI from June 23rd, 2022 to current. Prospective location information and a PIN registered trap and trace on the 8458 phone to aid in efforts to determine if Bryan stalked any of the victims in this case prior to the offense. Conducted surveillance of the King Road residence. I was in contact with any of the victims' associates before or after the alleged offense, any locations that may contain evidence of the murders that occurred on November 13th, and the location of the white Elantra registered to Kohberger, as well as the location of Kohberger. On December 23rd, 2022, pursuant to that search warrant, I received historical records of Bryan's phone, opened, and the account was opened in June of 2022. After consulting with the CAS team, I was able to determine estimated locations for that phone from June to present. The time period authorized by the court, the records for Bryan's phone showed that it was utilizing resources that provide coverage to the area of King Road on at least 12 occasions prior to November 13. All of these occasions, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours of their respective days. One of these occasions, on August 21st, the 8458 phone utilized resources providing coverage to the King Road residents from approximately 10:34 p.m. to 11:35 p.m. At approximately 11:37 p.m., Bryan was stopped by Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Corporal Duke, as mentioned above, and the phone was utilizing the resources then consistent with the location of that traffic stop during that time, which is located at Farm Road and Pullman Highway. Further analysis of the cellular data provided showed that Bryan's phone utilizes cellular resources on November 13th, consistent with um, Bryan's phone traveling from Pullman, Washington to Lewiston, Idaho via US Highway 195 at approximately 12:36 p.m. Then Bryan's phone utilized resources that would provide coverage to Kate's Cup of Joe coffee stand located at redacted Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage from the U.S. Chef store located at redacted Clarkston, Washington, and adjacent to Kate's Cup of Joe showed a white Elantra consistent with suspect vehicle 1 driving past Kate's Cup of Joe at a time consistent with the cellular data from Bryan's phone. At approximately 12:46 p.m., the phone then utilized cellular data in the area of Albertson's grocery store in Clarkston, Washington. I still want to know what he got. So surveillance footage obtained from the Albertsons showed Kohberger exit his white Elantra consistent with suspect vehicle 1 at approximately 12:49 p.m. Interior surveillance cameras showed Kohberger walk through the store, purchased unknown items at the checkout, and leave at approximately 1:04 p.m. Kohberger's possible path of travel is depicted below, not to scale. Okay, almost over. Additional analysis of records for Bryan's phone indicated that between approximately. So why couldn't they find out from Albertsons what he bought? I'm sorry, I
I
didn't
don't
know what
know.
he
It
bought.
seems so simple too, right?
Right? Unless he paid cash, because remember they said that he was taking out cash. He wasn't using his debit card.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be any record of it.
I mean, I guess you could check your cash tenders. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I feel like nowadays they would know this.
You
I
would
don't know.
think so.
Right. Okay, so we'll go. Sorry, almost done. Additional analysis of records for Bryan's phone indicated that between approximately 5:32 p.m. and 5:36 p.m., his phone utilized resources that provide coverage to Johnson, Washington. Okay, so his phone then stops reporting to the network from 5:36 to 8:30 p.m. What was he doing, Melissa?
From what
What
time?
was he doing?
From
5:36 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. the following afternoon. So
Mhm.
November 13th. What was he doing there?
I think he disconnected from the tower again and returned to wherever he initially went to right after the crimes, because I think he ditched everything very quickly in anticipation for the cops to already be en route. And so now that I think he had a bit more time, I think he took advantage of that and went back and made sure he disclosed of it properly. That's what I think.
Yeah, but it's interesting because he waited to do it. Like this long time frame of being offline would have been because he would have already known that there was a homicide. Like it's already been reported. Like he waited until it was reported to go offline this long.
Yes, but I think he anticipated it immediately. I think he saw Dylan. Dylan saw him. That's what Dylan says. And so I think at this point, as time goes on and your adrenaline is no longer, not that it wouldn't be rushing, it would still be rushing, but in a different type of way. I think the same way that why the hell would he take the chance of returning back to the crime scene is the same reason that he made the decision to return back to where he dumped the items. I think he took advantage and thought he had time, and that's what he did.
Yeah. I don't ever turn my phone off like that from the network. So if that's like not a normal habitual behavior of his, very sus. So on, which we already know he pled, but to me it's just still it's bothersome. But on December 27th, Pennsylvania agents recovered the trash from Kohberger's family residence located in Bridesville, Pennsylvania. That evidence was sent to the Idaho State Lab for testing. On December 28th, the Idaho State Lab reported that a DNA profile obtained from the trash and the DNA profile obtained from the sheath identified a male as not being excluded as the biological father of the suspect profile. At least 99.998% of the male population would be expected to be excluded from the possibility of being the suspect's biological father. Based on the above information, I request an arrest warrant to be issued for Bryan C. Kohberger, date of birth 1994, for burglary at 1122 King Street in Moscow, and 4 counts of murder in first degree for the murders of Madison Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, signed under the penalty of perjury, Corporal Payne, on February 1st of
Bless
2023.
your mouth, Shay.
Sorry, guys.
That no, I cooked food, ate food, like I did all the things, washed the dishes, all while you read that one report.
Oh, and I tried to go fast through it, like
no, you did wonderful. I'm just saying, wow. I know your mouth is like.
Well, luckily I haven't been communicating a lot today. I've been busy doing other stuff, so I have it in me.
Oh my goodness. No, it's honestly like everyone wanted the detail, but it was you could tell like the PCA was, like it directly parallels what's in the PCA. Oh, a burn pit. I haven't heard that before, MK. MK says, I think he had a burn pit set up in the wilderness somewhere before the crimes. He could have dug a hole prior. We don't know.
Oh, wow.
Now, this, guys, is the security footage, and again, trigger warning. Everything's a trigger warning, though. We're in true crime, but this is the longer version of the infamous footage of his car pulling away. And I think the thuds will be in here, and it's hard, it's hard to hear. So it says the footage, which ran from 3:30 a.m. to 4:20 a.m. and would have played a role at trial, has not before been seen by the public. It shows Kohberger's white Hyundai Elantra make repeated passes in the King Road. So you have the security camera right here at 11:12, and then the 11:22 in the square crime scene. So this is the
And Guys, this stuff isn't on the MPD website. This was FOIA'd by media.
333. Oh, who was that just left the house? Do you see that? Look at this house. Oh, was that 334? Wow, did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize someone left that house.
Well, didn't what's his name? David Berchoa. Didn't he say that he was over around this area and left and got back home around like 4 or so?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember like when he was doing, and it was the Amazon thing, or maybe it was like one of the write-ups that they, or like, another side write-up article.
Okay.
But something about how I think he was over around this area. He said like he said it felt like eerily awkwardly quiet that night because he like left maybe between like the hours of like 3:30 a.m. to 4, and then he got home around 4. I always wondered like if he was kind of over there,
I don't remember who lives there. I remember me and you did that whole live on that damn house too, and I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy, Tess. Yeah.
Okay.
David Bertrand was in Sigma Chi with Ethan.
There's a lot of activity going on in this house. You can see in the window.
Mm-hmm. What's the timestamp? Because it's got your thing over it.
Let me move my.
Yeah, because maybe I had the time off. Like my story may not even be relevant.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah. Okay. But all that movement, do you know what time it was?
Look, 3. It's the guy left after the first initial pass, and then it's set up. But so it's all throughout that time period.
Yeah.
You look at this window. You see them moving.
And we saw cars. We saw cars coming and going from that Banfield body cam too, though. Remember?
Yeah. So from 3:34, that guy left. You see all the movement in the window. There's someone clearly up. 3:35, 3:36.
This is probably where Dot says she was.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, Dot.
3:38. Oh, it's so eerie. What he was thinking in this moment. See, look, you even see activity in the top window up there too.
It's good quality. It really is.
Like the predator he is.
It makes you wonder if he's done this run like this other nights with turning the phone off.
Whoops. I believe so, 100%. Hold on, sorry. DoorDash driver passes by. That's a DoorDash driver walking, looking for the address.
So she pulls up right there, but I thought, does she move her car again? Or she just walks around all from this area? Oh, there's
Well,
a
she's
flashlight.
not parked there. She's just walking. So she parked, I don't know, out of frame here.
I think that's her car she just got out of.
No,
Right
so
there.
she just pulled away now in that car. Well, no,
Oh.
that. Well, did
No,
she
that's her. That's her car right there next to
No.
the truck.
Is it? Because hold on. But look, she walks from out of frame. See? Whoop. Unless it was just parked there. I didn't see it parked there though.
I didn't either.
Still see activity in that window. You see activity in that window, that person, someone's awake in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What if she says the person she sees moving around the house? What if it wasn't Xana? What if it's that house? Like sees people moving around the windows.
Totally possible, dude, because I saw someone in that third-story window.
Me too. I was thinking that. And see how it's higher.
DoorDash driver leaves. 404. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it's just all so close. It's giving me anxiety. Like, so much activity.
Right. I mean, because if she's just there to drop off an order and not really putting it all together, I think she could, and not be familiar with the area, have her memory be confused, you know?
See how much activity is going on at that house right at this time.
Well,
there's that attempt. Couldn't even parallel park. Wow.
Wow.
And that does, oh God, his heart must have been pounding right now, knowing what he was about to do. Or maybe not at all, because he's a psychopath.
And you said, I bet you they have video of that 3-point charge.
Oh, for sure. Wow.
I mean, yeah, he didn't have a front license plate on, but like, was he not concerned about the back? I'm gonna view it so good.
Much faster.
Wow. That's the first time I listened to it on full volume. It sounded like Xana's voice.
Oh yeah.
That's sad. Yeah, because we heard that speed off in the Linda Lane.
We sure did.
Wow, that's sad.
I'm gonna jump back for it because you could absolutely hear her voice. And it's much more clear, and you could hear her crying, but it makes you once again wonder, like, I know now, well, now we're getting a better account of Bethany in that, hey, she did hear things, but you could really hear. And when you think about the injuries that Xana sustained, over 50, she fought. And to know how fast he would have had to been acting, like what you're hearing is really in real time, like everything happening, and it's heartbreaking. And yeah, Murphy is conveying something is seriously wrong. It's really hard to listen to because you could hear it's Xana.
This makes me wonder if Murphy was already outside the house.
That's what they said. Remember Maddie had asked Bethany, did you see Murphy? No. And he was outside the house the whole time. But that's what I'm saying. When did Murphy come back in?
I thought he came back in and went out because the slider door was left open.
No, I think he was outside and came in after.
Really?
Yes.
But why would they go to sleep with their dog just wandering around? There's not a yard.
Don't know. That's what makes it hard from Bethany's report. And then they also mixed up, well, we don't know if they mixed up Kaylee and Maddie's name, but they said Maddie took Murphy out, right? And Maddie goes to Bethany and asks, I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something along the lines like, have you seen Murphy? Is Murphy inside here? And Bethany said no. And so it kind of left us on a cliffhanger as if Murphy was left outside. But I can't imagine they'd leave Murphy outside and shut the slider door and shut things down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you got back. I think they're just probably like Bethany wasn't there, but I'm sure they found Murphy. Murphy, and he was probably upstairs.
I don't remember it being open.
No,
I don't know. I think it was that loud, Harlot. I think it was only 50 feet away, but I do think it was that loud. That's what, a lot of people's issues are with saying, how didn't Dylan or Bethany know something was terribly wrong, which I understand, but I don't jump the way they do.
That window is like the closest point of the King Road house to that other house. But no, I think Murphy was brought back inside because what she thinks sounds like shuffling or dancing is, I think that when dogs get excited or like even scared when they're barking, they prance and jump. That sound, and they do that like when they dance too.
So I think he was inside.
Well, and without getting into all the other photos, I feel fine sharing this one because I have to ask your thoughts regarding this, Shay.
Okay.
What is this? It looks too perfectly there that I could think that this has anything to do with the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks like someone trying to maybe open the window, like push open the window.
I think it could be because there's a table there that people are probably like inside and other people are outside partying and the lights are on and they like stuck their hands like to it, you know, just kind of being silly. I don't think it has to do with the crime.
No, I don't think it has to do with the crime. I think, like I said, that's kind of like where I would put my hands if I'm trying to push open the window. But the hands are very tinier.
Yeah.
It is creepy the way I like when I was going through. I'm like, whoa, like what's that?
Yeah.
Murphy went down and notified Jack. There's where he was for 40 minutes after no one came. No, but see, that's what's so strange on Silent Bob is the girls wouldn't have gone to bed and left Murphy outside. So when did he get outside? Because it sounds like he's outside. And if he wasn't inside during he eventually went up to the bed, it doesn't appear he ever went in that room. Like he knew it was bad. The dog sensed it. Maybe, yeah, that's a good point, Scott. Maybe it was from that Halloween party. Yeah, the cider door is open, but we're saying he wouldn't have been left outside, and then, you know what I mean? Like they wouldn't. Murphy wasn't an outside dog. Yeah, he probably ran outside after the door was open. But it seems like he may have been outside initially. I don't know. I see, that's what's hard. I don't know anything about Murphy. I don't know if it was usual for him to go running around the house, if it was unusual, if he would have sensed someone coming in and run right down. Like, I don't know. From Jacqueline. Checking on the girls the next day. I don't know. Did he know how to get to Jack's on his own? Has he done it before? Maybe.
Yes, I think he knew how to get to Jack's. I think that's the easiest thing for him to do because they share the dock.
Yeah, and the only reason I don't think that they would have done that, Harlot, but the way that the investigative reports are written was the last interaction Bethany had with Maddie. Was Maddie originally taking the dog out? Remember, and we know Olivia saw Maddie taking Murphy out, but then couldn't find Murphy.
But I think we have to remind ourselves that the reports are just a summary of those interviews, and those interviews are going to be taped, recorded, transcribed. So I think that there's possibly some information that isn't clued in. But I do believe the dog was inside for the night. I really do.
Then you think Kaylee's door was open.
So I believe now, after hearing that they took naps when they got back from the pre-party before they went to the bar, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Kaylee's blankets were pulled back. So I am officially convinced she was already in the room with Maddie. So, but I think
point where you finally convinced. We used to go back and forth about that a lot.
But I am, because the door was open in Kaylee's room. And because like it's just like the third floor up there. I think Murphy was really good with everyone, and he was kind of treated like a house dog. That maybe she left the door open, and Murphy just naturally like slept in there because he had his little spot.
See, there
was a dog kennel in there, and he would have been in the kennel had like she meant to kennel him, you know?
The way that now it could be from fear and trauma, but the way that Murphy was on Kaylee's bed and did not move when investigators came in, and he stayed underneath that desk. Again, you can attribute that to the trauma and him sensing what's going on, or a contribution of he may be the type of dog that doesn't go running up to people. There are dogs that do not go running up to people. I don't know what kind of dog he was.
Yeah, I think he was traumatized.
Olivia dating. What does everyone think? You know, I'm not trying to knock on that, you know, but I thought it was weird at first. That's just my opinion, only because and you know what, I guess it sounds kind of silly, but if you're trying to be professional and coming from the angle that you're a creator and you're covering these stories, I don't like the idea of anyone being taken advantage of it. I'm not saying that that's what Olivia did. It just, you know, that's how my mind goes, is, oh, someone's really not in a good place. I hope your motives are the right ones. But if it's they genuinely lived to good for them, you know, but I found it weird at first. I did. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I find it weird too, especially because she's been in, you know, two docuseries now about the crime, and not to say she can't, but I don't know. It's just kind of odd. I wish him the best though.
Well, you know, because I sit there and I'm like, listen, people are shit. And I'm sorry, like, as many amazing people I have really met online, and I'll use online because I swear I haven't met as many shitty people, at least to my knowledge, in real life. There are some pieces of crap that I have seen do crazy things for views and money and things that, like, what is wrong with you? So do I put it past anybody to really have ill intentions and do something, play a long game with motive to get certain things? No, I know it's possible. It's disgusting, but it's possible. That's why I say I hope it's right with all the right intentions. But I also know you're dealing with very vulnerable individuals. And I don't know how I feel about that. And I look at him and I'm like, he probably feels closer to her because Kaylee followed her and she was into true crime and she's gorgeous and she's young. And you know, you're opening up and you're sharing, and we don't really hear anything from him too much. And did that aid in developing those emotional feelings? Possibly, totally possible. So that's why I'm like, you just better not be screwing around, because that's really messed up.
I mean, they've been together for a while now, so I mean, it seems legit. I hope it works out for him.
And I know this is going to be horrible. I'd like to see how long that they're together now that the trial isn't happening. And when I say that, I'm not trying to jump. I'm just saying the fact that they've been together for X amount of time leading up to the trial isn't what's going to make me feel, not that my opinion matters, but it's not going to make me feel like, oh yeah, no, it's been a while. After now, and once things chill out, then time will matter and be a factor for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that if, like, she was, like, still, like, heavily covering true crime, but she's not, you know?
No, yeah.
She's been doing, more, like, humanitarian videography, you know? Like, she went down for, like, when they had, like, the Tennessee floods, North Carolina floods, and took a lot of photography and documented stuff.
And no, not 3 minutes, Kelly. Not 3 minutes. He was in there for longer than 3 minutes. What is that sound?
I think that it stopped whenever we were playing the video. Like, it showed about 3 minutes of what we were listening to the audio of at the end, but
yes,
they were time lapsing it.
Yes, it sped it up. He made entry a little after 4:04. So they have a channel together now?
What?
I never knew my father. I didn't know that.
Hey, Jordan.
What are they going to cover? See,
that's interesting.
That's the thing that makes me go, huh? Not like, and again, I could be wrong, but my concern is anything with the relationship being used for content purposes.
Yeah.
And I feel like Olivia has to be, she's not the vulnerable party in this equation.
So I don't know if I sent this to you, but I thought this was kind of interesting that I found.
No, sorry. Are you serious?
Stop. Tess.
No. No, 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 no. Oh, wow. Jim John Doe, no. Okay.
Yeah, so I sent you what I found on Instagram the other day. I think, let me see when I took that picture. It was yesterday. I took it around noon. Sorry, you might have to black out. I got Tess on there, but it's kind of interesting. Like, why there?
Here, let me share it.
So on Insta, I found a post by Stacey Chapin, and I thought it was interesting. Tess liked it, and I guess it like hit my algorithm, and it was Stacey. We'll also go over it, but it was just interesting because like we haven't really heard from the families much. I mean, she did like I think a tribute to Ethan, and then this is the last. But Stacey's most active Chapin on Instagram.
Well, first of all, she looks beautiful.
Yeah, she looks fantastic. I love her outfit too. Very good vibes.
Yeah. And it says, these photos show a special relationship that started over a chance meeting a couple of years ago. But on Wednesday, we flew to Houston to meet back up with David and Kristen Middleman, the owners of Othram. Oh, wow. Who did the DNA testing on the knife sheath in our case. Othram is the most advanced forensic DNA testing facility in the world. Impressive is an understatement. Not only the company, but the people. There is more to come on this topic.
What does that mean, Melissa? I thought I had sent this to you. I think I took the picture and was like, I gotta send it to you.
What?
I know, and I'm like, hey, this is really lovely. But then I just like my spidey sensors were tingling. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Sorry.
Hey, what the
It's
fuck
weird.
is it? I don't know.
And you see behind?
Yeah.
It's got the pictures of the Idaho ones. Like,
yeah.
Weird. I love them too, Jordan. It was like, what are they? What? So I really think
Police Forensic Services. In 2022, 4 Idaho college students were brutally murdered. Investigators received over 19,000 tips. In 2022, law enforcement contacted Othram to assist in the quadruple homicides of Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, and Maddie. Othram scientists used forensic something to generate a forensic DNA profile and investigate leads that helped investigators identify Bryan Kohberger as a suspect. Kohberger was later arrested, charged, and ultimately sentenced to life in prison. Are you impressed that I read that?
Yes, I am. I'm very impressed with that.
I did that, not to toot my horn, just saying I impressed myself.
I know. I have a lot of respect for Stacey for all the families and parents, but I just found it interesting when she said more to come on this topic. And let me just explain why I feel that way. It's not a hater of anything. Remember how she went to Crime Con? She was like really much against all that, and like she's grown into like there's no right way to like breathe and move through life, right? So Stacey and them have found their own way. I have a lot of respect, but I guess, I was like, okay, they did the Amazon thing. I knew that for docuseries. I already knew that, that she had that book deal with James Patterson. She's written her own book, The Boy in Blue, about Ethan. Also has the Ethan Smiles Foundation, which gives out scholarships. So I was like, what, them not wanting to go and do victim impact statements. They wanted to have their day with their family. I thought maybe like it would be a shut this chapter and like we're ready to move on. Sorry to be so long-winded, but Stacey was kind of the last person that I thought would want to continue something if it's on topic of Othram and this case, but one could only assume based on this picture.
and that whatever this more to come thing is.
Well, you know what? And it's the fact that she's smiling,
Mhm.
good for her. I don't know if, like maybe it was totally unexpected for her too. And everything you just described is totally what, the vibes they've been putting out for
Mhm.
years.
Right.
Smiling when you've lost your child in the manner that you've lost your child, I know probably feels impossible to ever do again. So she looks beautiful. And if she's on a route of peace and this, suddenly it took an unexpected turn and she good for what I just want her to smile again. Like I really do. All of the families to have that ability, because I can imagine you struggling with guilt to even laugh ever again, to smile ever again, because then I can imagine you feeling guilty, which you shouldn't, but that's what I've been told from parents who have lost their child. Because like you shouldn't, you have to remind yourself, like, how can I laugh? How can I smile? But I loved hearing from the Chapins that, they made the decision as a family that they were not going to let this dictate the rest of their lives. That doesn't mean that it doesn't affect them and that they're okay without Ethan, versus they need to live for their remaining children and function and still be able to appreciate the life that they have.
Yeah, I think all the families have found their way to cope with the situation.
Yeah.
I guess it was just more the Othram thing, and I really just kind of pegged her personality as like maybe to in the chapter just based on this prior statement.
That's what she said. Yeah, that's they weren't even going to trial initially. Like they were, so nothing would indicate them wanting to go down a path that let alone involved Othram.
I know, isn't that just bizarre? Like, what would they be doing?
Maybe because like that's what Anne focused most of her arguments on, was the DNA and the Othram testing, that she wanted to show the good, because it was because of Othram that they got Bryan Kohberger.
Okay, hold on. I got it. CrimeCon. So the power. Okay, all right. You just want me to show you? Let me give you the article. Let me put it back chat. Let's not wonder. Let's figure this out. Here we go. There. It looks like if you want to pull that up, we'll just explain away now. Most likely. You got that. So if we scroll down, I think this is what it is, because it's a September 6th event.
The powerhouse of Othram is solving cases on a daily, if not hourly basis, including the horrific 22 murders of 4 College of Idaho students. Joining Othram's Chief Development Officer, Kristen Middleman, is Stacy Chapin, in her first public appearance since the sentencing of the man who murdered her son Ethan and his 3 friends. In one of the most emotional sessions of the weekend, Kristen and Stacy will recount how they met at CrimeCon in 2023 in Orlando and how a promise made that day was kept. Together, they'll reveal how Othram assisted in the investigation and how Stacy is now using her voice to advocate for broader access to this technology for all the families. Yep, exactly. There we go. All right.
Wow.
Good for them. Good for them.
Well, and I find this neat because, like, she went to that first CrimeCon, and I loved hearing the experience and how she went into like Joseph Scott Morgan's like event and talked, and she met with the Petito family, and I'm glad she's like found a place in this. Maybe it really helps her with keeping Ethan's memory alive in a different way than what she originally planned.
Yeah. Yes, exactly, Harlot. Yeah. Well, I love their foundation. But that's good. I'm interested.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I don't know. I don't know about a couple of things. Like, it's just all like, and we knew this was going to happen. It was all going to come out super fast and scattered and all over the place. And I'm seeing a bunch of nonsense. But I'm going to just go through these reports like with you, like we're doing, and kind of try to piece it all together. And by the end, because this is the first of many. This is just MPD's investigative reports. You know, like we're going to be getting hit with a lot of FOIAs
Yeah.
coming out. I submitted my own FOIAs, but honestly, by the time I get any, you know, like they're all going to be out anyway. It doesn't, which I don't care about. Like I just want to kind of go through and get an understanding. That's it.
Yeah. And yeah, I checked the website today. I mean, all there has been posted, even just on the court docket, has been a order regarding sealing documents.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone keeps saying, oh, you know, I had that little link or whatever. It's like on my Twitter pinned, and people have been using it, you know, that we use. And like, yeah, can you update it? I'm like, no, we haven't really got anything. Like, that is all that's come out has been this stuff on the MPD website, and anything else, like you said, is FOIA. And I think some of the stuff we're expected to get from the court will be really interesting, because that really will be I think the only way we're going to see more of the FBI data.
Yes, 100%. You're right.
And that's, I think, where a lot of this investigation was really successful, is with the FBI support.
Yeah. Well, poor Linda, only one person. That's the brunt of being the first with FOIAs, and we've talked about this before. Once one person, the first person pays for it. Whoever is the first to obtain the records, because you are paying for the redactions. You are paying for them to go through each report, do the redactions, prepare it, get the files, get the audios, and give it out. After that, it may not cost nothing, but it does not cost the same. But that's what you get for being one of the first. But trust me, they'll give it out to the media companies first. They know what they're doing. All right. I'm going to hop off for now, but thank you, Shay. And I thought you said you're not going to be around the next 2 nights, right?
Yeah, Faye starts school tomorrow, and then I'm just kind of leaving, not tomorrow, Wednesday. So tomorrow is like our last minute day, you know? Yeah. And then I just was not going to do anything Wednesday, because I'm sure she's going to be overloaded. Yeah. But yeah, we can get back on Thursday if you want.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Well, thank you. I love you. And I missed all of you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for being patient. I may come on tomorrow to do something different, but we'll be back with Idaho on Thursday. So we will see you guys all then.
Good night.
Good night.